didn't get carried over from the conversion, blah blah blah. So I'm working with Alexia to deal with the lobster issue. That's still an
Hmm.
open case at this moment.
Okay, that sounds cool. Yeah, I think Alexi's gonna sort that out.
Okay.
Well, from my side, I just had a small talk with Nyung on the Vietnamese accents of VT323, which just looks like it's solved. So I think we could push it to the next phase.
Okay.
And when it comes to Sigma 1, I think we are depending on Kalapi's foundings. If we are to keep the same metrics,
Yeah.
and just by juggling the wind descent and wind ascent, we might uh, um, counter the clipping, then I think we should keep it as original as possible. If not, then we should have a discussion what to do, because I think it's a problem we will encounter on several typefaces.
Yeah. So my understanding of Kalapi's research so far is that we don't need to do any scaling, and we can draw whatever we want, over the UPM. We can be double the UPM even, and
Mm-hmm.
that we can prevent clipping in Windows, and we don't see any adverse effects. Other than if you don't set the line spacing, then things are going to run into each other. But that's
Yeah.
fine. I've got no problem with that.
No, but that's a legacy. That's a legacy we will have to compromise on.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
think.
I think we're good basically.
Okay. And like you made the remark on Sigma 1 that the original accents were pretty big. I'm completely with her there, but we can't change that because that's inherent of the design. And but I think if we are to counter this clipping by just typing some values, that would be fine by me. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Young, what's your sort of current? We've had this discussion with Pablo about the size of the accents. What's the current status of that?
She should take. She has a microphone off.
Oh yeah. Maybe she's not there.
Hmm.
Would it be an idea to ask Nyung to make a kind of sample font in which the accents are like perfect with Vietnamese to be able to compare about size ratio? Or maybe she could just point one out that she thinks is good, so we can get an idea on sizes and stuff.
Okay, but what about the Libra Franklin? So is the current version of Libra Franklin good for Vietnamese? Okay. Well, I suggest that you make a version, 1.006, and then we can actually see. You can make like a slide deck. We can actually see what the differences are. I think that would be helpful to move the discussion forwards. And then for all of the other projects that people have worked on, have you reviewed them for the Vietnamese? And any problems? The Poiré one.
Nice.
All right. I think that we can just carry on, in the chat. I don't think there's much purpose to carrying on the call.
Yeah. Yeah, Dave, is there anything you'd like us as a group talk about right now? Or anything you'd like us
I don't think
clarify?
so. I mean, I think that we need to start to try and solidify the process a bit. I'm still waiting for the final checklist from Kalapi. Everyone else has sent me checklist stuff, so I'm going to try and get that on the sheet. And then I think maybe it might be a bit clearer where the handoff is to Nyung, and where the finishing is of the projects. Um, and I don't have a strong date for when we can next push any updates that we have in an end state. The Google Fonts engineering team are doing some other projects, and so that it's not maybe. We talked about trying to get things out once a week or something, but maybe it's going to be like once a month, or maybe even once every couple of months. But yeah, that's sort of the major update I have there. But I think that's not an issue because we can just get stuff lined up to go. So I need to spend a bit more time with that organization spreadsheet and the checklist to try and firm things up. And I think for the next couple of weeks, you guys can just focus on your sort of Raisins projects and try and get them as good as they can be.
Nice.
I'll try and work with Nyung on the sort of VME set and Alexi on the Cyrillic set, which kind of run in parallel to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've got one question. You just pushed some remarks on Autospacer, which is there already a strategy what, when, and for which fonts we are going to use it?
I think basically, what will probably happen is I'll circulate your feedback to each other as well. I just sent you a bunch of emails from previous discussions. Basically, yeah, I think we can use it if we think the spacing's bad, and it'll just instantly improve the spacing. It doesn't do kerning, so that's something which is sort of for the future. All that we would have to do, we'd have the tool sort of needs you to spend another, chunk of time hand correcting a few things and then doing kerning. So it's a semi-automation. So I think that probably where the spacing's bad, it can speed things up. And that if we're going to spend 1 day or 2 days on a font, then maybe it can just improve the spacing. And if a font doesn't have any kerning and we don't add any, then it still needs to have the kerning added, but at least it's going to make the spacing better. And then for the Raisins, maybe you can use it in your process, if you think that it helps speed up the work. I mean, the people who've actually used the tool say that they're very happy with it. So, yeah, I sent you a bit more of Andres's emails as well to explain a bit more about the process and like how you use it, as you could see also on the YouTube videos. So I think that the comparisons that I sent you guys, you say it's too wide or it's too tight, but those are configurable.
Okay.
That
was my main question because you saw my response. It's a little bit like you said. I think for the Raisins, it could be part of a process, but that should be a personal decision.
Yeah.
But for the main bulk, I mean, the fonts were expanding, which have as not a particularly high design standard to start with. It could be a good addition to implement it maybe into the.
Yeah, and so I think that probably at some point we'll ask someone to take 100 fonts, 200 fonts, and then like give the rating like a 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 5 or whatever, and then we can say like the bottom 1, 2, 3 star space fonts we can respace, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
As a second pass, maybe after we have everything set up in place.
And do you think that will be something we can implement in the next 3 months, or would it be maybe like 2.0?
I think probably we can integrate that in the next few months. I mean, fingers crossed, by the time we finish this round of Raisins and we start the second batch, we'll have the tool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's not a done deal yet, but it seems that seems we can do it.
Cool.
And it's the script in Glyphs, if I understood it well.
Yeah.
Maybe Georg is interested in implementing it.
He is. That's what I have to discuss. I mean, he might.
That's what you're playing on.
he might rewrite some of it. We'll see.
Cool.
Nice. Excellent. And Dave, I saw your email to the group about the next workshop meeting
Mm-hmm.
in October.
Mm-hmm.
So that's mainly going to be focused on kind of summarizing together what we did in this project, correct?
Well, yeah. So the last 2 weeks of the 16, we have a week remotely to work together, and then a week in New York to work together. And the purpose is storytelling. Well, and then the primary purpose is storytelling, and then the secondary purpose is planning. Next year.
Okay, cool.
And so in terms of storytelling, we probably wouldn't have any budget for printing stuff, but we can probably make some kind of mini site, um, and show the before and afters of stuff we worked on, explain sort of basic stuff like if we added kerning to a font, what kerning is, and then how it's improved this font. Say with Comfortar, stuff like that R that you posted, some of these little design discussions where we say, here's before, here are some options considered when developing it, here's what we ended up with, stuff like this. And I think that the team is really happy about the way the discussions in the group are going with the daily updates and little screenshots here and there. And I think that in 8 weeks time, we're going to have like a lot of possibilities and things that we could use, and it's going to be quite easy to go over that group and pull out all of those things and sort of maybe print them out and lay them out on a big table or whatever, and discuss about what stories we want to tell.
And the stories is for the outside world to show what Google Fonts has done and what its future will be, and so on and so on.
Yeah. Basically, we're trying to improve the quality of the fonts, and so even if we just improved the quality but we didn't tell anyone, then maybe no one would notice. Because type design is, we're paying attention, but regular people don't, pay so much attention.
No, I understand, but it could have been an internal presentation, for example, for Omar and Rob, but if they're following our threads, that's just pretty cool as well. So
yeah, that's actually nice. That's excellent.
Yeah, I think that one of the interesting things about this stuff is that it's all working, sort of in public, and we're not hiding problems, but we also want to sort of celebrate the work, and that you guys are all freelance designers, and it gives you a bit of a platform to say, like, here's this great work that I did, and I'm a small independent freelance designer, and that can hopefully raise your profile.
Yeah. Actually, on that note, I did was that screenshot I did for that lowercase r, for example, for Quicksand. I also reposted it on Dribbble, because I feel like it's a very natural cross connection, because Dribbble is all about show and tell design work. So basically, I found that to be a very useful tool as well. So if Jock and the other team members have Dribbble accounts, sharing over there too might make a lot of sense.
You already found out? Did you run a Google search on me or what?
No, I'm just saying. I don't know if you have a Dribbble account, my friend. I'm just saying if you do.
But yeah, then that sounds great. If you can include the link in the email, I'll definitely check it out. That sounds really awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I've been continuing making brush strokes of the Pacifica to get all the contrast to a basic level, and once I'm satisfied, I'll transfer it to glyphs and finish it off. So I'll try to do as much as possible in Illustrator to get the rhythm. And like I stated in my thread, I'll try to keep the whole philosophy upright. So it might add some new changes, but we'll see as I go along.
Yeah, I didn't make time to look at your Illustrator file. I'm curious, are you doing like individual Illustrator files per glyph, or are you?
No, I'm making a layer per glyph.
Oh yeah, so there's like one big artboard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all like 1,000 to 1,000 points. So when I want to copy paste it to glyphs, there won't be any loss. And I put in the first layer, I put Pacifico, and I type a letter, and then I just trace it and then enhance it. That's how I work. And there's every glyph has its own layer. with alternate forms, and it's more like a sketchboard just to see how big the scope can be and what could be a good solution for the problem.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I think that's going to be super interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't think there's much more to talk about. I think everything's good.
Nice. Excellent.
Good.
Okay. All right. Back
So,
to work, everybody.
so Young was saying that Garamond Premiere Pro is a good reference for Vietnamese. So, Young, I have a question about that. Does Garamond Premiere Pro have like different accent shapes for Vietnamese? But the position and the design is the same for the European and the Vietnamese accent marks. Okay, so we can find a way to do that with our fonts. We just need to convince Pablo and other designers about it. All right. Well, I think for you then, the next steps would be if you can start with Pablo's font and make it, version 6 is exactly how you want it to be, with just simple, same accents for everything, and then if you can work on each of the Brazen projects to also bring them up to what you think is best as a separate version, and then we could maybe make a deck and show before and after for each one. How long do you think that'll take? Maybe the rest of the week? Because there's quite a few, isn't there? There's going to be Libra Franklin, Lobster, Foray, what else did you work on, Thomas? Was it just Lobster?
Bangers and Lobster.
And Bangers. Yeah, and Bangers. And then...
I know. Great name. Great name,
Yeah,
guys.
I was thinking of Bangers. Sounds like Hooters, but...
I know. You would think it.
Bangers and Mash.
Yeah.
English. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think that's basically the drill then. I guess maybe we have another call on Monday.
Okay.
Pick up. Yeah. Don't worry about being unable to voice chat. Yeah.
So as soon as you hear from Kalapi on the technical stuff, will be nice. Then I can push Stigma 1 through, and
yeah.
So it's on hold from my side at the moment.
Yeah, that's fine. Cool. All right.
Yeah?
I'll keep you posted on the spacing tool. All right.
Thank you very much, gentlemen and gentlewomen.
All right, everybody. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.